Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another review. This time is the SH Figuarts Avengers Infinity War Falcon. So, I gotta say, I'm excited to have this. It's really cool to have an Anthony Mackie head, so I can put on all sorts of other dumb stuff. But more importantly, I've actually waited for this figure for a while. It actually came out really great. There are minor gripes that I have with it, but those issues are completely and utterly overshadowed by the fact that it actually is a really cool figure. It has tons of articulation in places I wouldn't expect it. And while it's a bulkier body, it actually is and looks very good doing some action poses. So, let me get started. Let me get to showing you. So, as we can see, actually, let me put some light on over here. Voila. This does indeed look like Anthony Mackie. The problem is Anthony Mackie actually goes through so many changes in the roles that he takes. People often tend to forget that he is a thin face guy. They actually got the face really right. I just wish that and this is a side note, I really wish that the eyes didn't look so sleepy, lazy. I don't like that. But otherwise it actually does look very much like him. I also really wish that so when you get him in package, his face is going to look extra oily and sweaty for some reason. Just get a damp cloth and wipe it down and it will look a lot better. As you can see here, it's just reflecting light very differently. But he's going to look like he has been sweating bullets in package all day. So keep that in mind. Anyway, the figure itself is actually pretty dope. I think that they actually reused some mold pieces from Captain America. And I'll get to that in a second. But as far as articulation goes, we're going to get started. I really like the way he's articulated. Outside of the collar being a gripe because it hinders it looking left and right in a certain way, he actually can immediately look up into flight poses. So flight poses are immediately and done very well because he already has the means for it. So parachuting, skydiving, jumping out of buildings, all that stuff will look great in terms of articulation and the look on him. It's absolutely great. He can look down very well. And the arms are done like Infinity War Cap. You can actually pull them out very easily, pop them back in, they rotate around. He is double jointed. And it goes up about this far with the joint in. There is the inside bicep swivel, but you also get this really good butterfly joint that comes really far out. Actually, too far out. Sometimes your arm will pop out, so be careful. So it looks really cool. Like I said, it's actually remolded, so it looks a little wider here, but it actually looks like they reused some of the caps parts here. Like, not remolded, I should say, but the same kind of frame, I should say. And as you can see here, these little pointy parts of his chest piece are going to hinder your articulation going forward, so you won't get too much of a ton of that. But the bottom rotation at the bottom of the waist cuts in very well, so that way you actually get a ton more. Same thing going backwards, except that it leaves a tiny gap you may not like here. But otherwise, it's actually really nice. Rotates left and right very well, too. The legs use the old drop-down method, so you actually can get rotation going forward. As you can see, he can actually kick really high, and they're double jointed. His leg and ankle pivot are actually really done well. As you can see, rotates all the way through. It's kind of like they gave it room for wiggle, and there's toe pivot as well. His toe pivot, for some reason, doesn't go all the way up. I guess it's the design of his boot, but Anthony Mackie, aka the Falcon, actually has a lot of articulation. So this is really nice. It's nice to have it. It's nice to get a figure you've been wanting a while. So I know how people feel out there with lines that they want stuff and they don't really get it. So yeah, it's really cool to have. Let me see if he can balance. Come on, you can do it. Yeah. Anthony Mackie kick. But anyway, let me stop goofing. Let me stand him straight up and let's go into the kind of stuff he has and designs on his figures. So obviously, this is nowhere near the level of Hot Toys, but it's really cool to see this engineered by SHF. Excuse me. Oh, one more thing I want to talk about is the differences in the arms. This one is the gauntlet for using Red Wing, which he does not come with. So if you have a Red Wing from the Marvel Legends, you can actually use it with this. Make yourself look cool in photos and things like that. But the SHF does not come with a Red Wing. So as far as accessories, the first thing we're going to start on is the backpack. And the reason why I said this is because the backpack is going to be interchangeable. What you do is you actually take it out, and you're going to swap the backpack with the ball joints on it. And this one is going to be one for your Falcon Wings. This one is going to set you up for what you're going to do next with the Falcon Wings. Now, the Falcon Wings are actually exceptionally nice. They look very good. They're shorter than the Marvel Legends versions, and I have to go by pictures because I do not own the Marvel Legends version. I ordered one, but it didn't come on time for this review. So, yeah. Anyway, you'll see the ball joint here, which actually is going to be able to capture it and pop it on. So, voila, it pops on. Same thing going to be for the other side. It just pops on, and they snap into the ball joint very well. These wings are actually really light, so he's very easy to support the weight. And as you can see, he has a very nice and long wingspan. When you fold it down, you'll see that the wings actually fold outward towards the back of him, and I'm assuming that's going to also help keep balance with him, but also looks really good. Then when you are flying or using flight poses where you're not doing anything crazy, you actually can attach the handles into the wings for him to grab on each side. I'm just going to put them in so you guys can see what they look like. So as you can see here, they actually look pretty good. The wings can go up, but they'll bump into each other at a certain point. And you can actually fold them in for when you do that move that he did in the movie. So you can actually fold them in as well. So as you can see here, you can fold them in like this to protect yourself. You can actually rotate them over your head when you are doing stopping in midair. And as you can see, the arms can almost always reach out to them. There are hands for doing that, so I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I love the way this looks and the way it functions. They are lightweight. They get to the point. They are very practical, and they look good doing it as well. So that's one of the things where on the first try, I think that they've pretty much nailed. While the body gets a little gappy with this figure, I guess in terms of the way it looks, as you can see the cuts everywhere. If you are a guy who's aesthetic, you want it to not look gappy, you'll probably be upset about that. But overall, I think it's one of those things where it works for the figure and it works for the function of the figure. Two more things you also get are two weapons. I'm not going to call them Uzis, but I'm going to call them enhanced pistols because I don't really know my guns. So yeah, and they seem to have silencers on them. So let's kind of, there we go. These are very nice, but I also know that if you are a fan of Little Armory, their Little Armory weapons are also in scale, and he actually holds them just fine. So you can use those as well. He also comes with two trigger hands, and these are the hands that also are used to hold the handles on his wings. So you use these as well. You can also use these for pointing if you want, whichever one you prefer. And you also get two open palms for relax or, you know, pimp smacking your opponents, whichever one you choose to do. But yeah, these are very nice. Last but not least, when you're doing flight poses and you want to switch the game up, you can absolutely swap it over to his masthead with the goggles. Actually, let me make sure this pops in properly. There we go. And this head actually looks just as good as the other one, but it covers the eyes with the goggles. Makes you look really cool. Makes you look like you know what you're doing in the sky. This is something I actually very much like this head a lot. And I just think that it's really cool to finally have a Falcon figure. We've waited a while, so it's all good in the hood. Well, at least for me, I should say. But I'm really enjoying the fact that this figure functions very well and looks very good as well. Real quick, I want to jump into size comparison with other Marvel figures and other lines as well. Unfortunately, like I said, I do not have the Marvel Legends Falcon, so I can't really do that. So we're going to jump into other stuff. First and foremost, I'm going to jump into it with James Rhodes, his flight buddy in Infinity War. I have the Mark III because the Mark IV is not out yet. There was no Mark IV Marvel Legend as well either. So, oh, crap. Wait, before I jump into that, I do want to point out they do give you a peg piece on his backpack for when you have the flight minion. For when you want to add a Tamashi stage over the wings, you can actually plug this right into the back. So I don't want to forget that. So I almost did. But yeah. But there was no Mark IV for the SHF yet. This comes out later on this year. So I just want to make sure I do it with the Mark III. Here he is next to Cap with a custom old boy head. And as you can see, Cap is still bigger than him, but they look really good in terms of size with each other. Somebody else is also at the Battle of Wakanda. We have Winter Soldier. This one is a custom old boy head as well. So as you can see, size-wise, Mackie is bigger than Bucky, but smaller than Cap. So it actually fits in really well here with these guys. I like that a lot. I am not good on one of those real actor height thing. So I like the sizes. Other people may not. Here he is next to Spider-Man, who he got his butt whipped by in Civil War. Him and Winter Soldier. Here he is next to Black Widow, who's also there at the Battle of Wakanda. As well as Iron Man, who was not there. He was out in space doing his space thing. So height-wise, I think that Falcon is a really good height. And just for comparison, because next month SHF Thor is out, but here is Thor from the Marvel Legends Infinity War. He towers over everyone. He's godly gigantic compared to everyone else. So yeah, there's that. Now we're going to compare him to other lines, starting with a Marvel Legend. Here is Spider-Man. So as you can see, he pretty much scales okay with Legends, if he's okay to be around Spider-Man's height. Here he is next to an SHF Kamen Rider, who he is bigger than. Next up, an Articulated Icons Ninja, whose magazine just dropped. Synthetic Human. So those look really good together. Last but not least, we're going to do a Mythic Legion, and then we're going to do Revoltech and Mezco. So here he is with Deathstroke from Kyoto, Revoltech. I got to make sure I'm not dropping stuff, so excuse me as I take to, Mythic Legions. And Punisher Cable. So yeah, I think absolutely he's a great size. Not too big, not too small. He has the bulk, he has the size, he has excellent wings and a great articulation. All in all, I'm really enjoying Falcon. I definitely I definitely think you get the bang for your buck, especially being that this is the first time they've done a Falcon figure. So yeah, I'd say give it a shot. If you're not a fan of what you saw here, you obviously don't have to buy it, and that's totally fine. That's why I do the review. But all in all, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you found it informative. But most of all, I hope you do good, be good, and drink your water, guys. Later.